So first thing in writing answer to the open book question. So all of you have to follow is the structure. And structure means format. And so what will be the format for writing the open book question? So all of you have written main for at least 3 units, and 3 units you have written open book. So what is the format? Somebody can tell for writing answers to open book question. So in which format you have to write? Any question is there, then there is some format. So what format we should have in writing the question? Sorry, in writing the answer.
Till now we are following
Which format you are following till now?
like two ways. One is typing, other is handwritten, and then answer structure is like first the introduction and then the main contents with references and then the
Correct.
conclusion.
Yes. Thank you. So correct. This is the correct format and which all of you are doing. So first, any question is there. So here question, anything will be there. But for answer, all of you have to follow some format. And so like Prabhuji told, first there should be introduction. So this heading should be visible. And if these headings are not visible, then I will fail that devotee. And then you have to rewrite your open book. And introduction should be there. And now, then after that, you have to change the paragraph. Some 3-4 lines will be there. Like this, you write introduction. And then in body word is not required. But after that, you have to change the paragraph. And then you have to write the here answer body. And like this, you will write 1-2 pages. And your answer should be within 800 words according to you write. Clear? Then at the end, there should be conclusion. This word should be there, conclusion. And so you write in 1-2 lines. And so what is the conclusion of that question? And so this is the structure is required. And body word is not there, then it is okay. You should, it is absolutely not required, body word. Clear? Structure is clear for everybody. All of you might be following this structure. Now, then what we should write in the introduction. And like now we will take our first question. Sorry, I'm outside the temple. So my sitting facility is not proper here. So instead of light should come on my face, it is coming on the camera. So I will make some devotees co-host because my internet connection is also from the mobile. 2-3 devotees. Somebody. Okay. Then after structure, then now we'll take the question. And so in this unit, what is our first question? Somebody can read.
First question is with the reference to Bhagavad Gita chapter 14, verses and purports. Discuss in your own words two things. First, ways you are personally influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance. Second is practical ways you can develop the mode of goodness, personal application.
Okay. Then, so what introduction you can think of this? Anybody can suggest? introduction for this question.
In introduction, we can introduce the three modes. What is passion? What is goodness? What is ignorance?
Yes, and there can be many way, and like Prabhuji told, like if Prabhuji is writing, then what Prabhuji will do, that he will introduce, there are three modes, passion, ignorance, of three modes of material nature. And so, and Prabhuji will highlight, there are three modes, and here we have been asked for how I am influenced by the mode of passion and ignorance. And like you have to introduce this question, and practical ways how I can develop the goodness. And this is asked to this is asked in this question, and these points are below. And like this, you have to write in introduction approximately. Then in the body, and now you will come to the body, and this is about introduction. And body, best easy way, where before writing the body, you break the question. And like here, if you take this first question, then how you will break this question? Hey, how we can break, I will tell you first, that here it is mentioned that with reference to Bhagavad Gita chapter 14 verses and purports, discuss in your own words. So you have to discuss from, there is one point, discussion, you have to discuss, and with reference to what? First point is with reference to verses from 14 chapter. 14 chapter, that is first point. And another reference is there with reference to purports and of the 14th chapter. And these are 2 points. With reference to these two things, you have to write. Clear? Then two parts you have divided the question. Then another third part is what? Sorry. First part we have studied, discuss. Then there is second part also. Here there are verses of 14 chapter with reference, and purports of 14 chapter, that is there. Then there is another things with reference to these 2 points, means there will be two broad points. And in this question, there are two main points, and first and two. Then what will come under first? And there will be two sub points. And what will be the sub points? Like A, under first, there will be small a. Like what will be that? Ways you are personally influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance. And like this, first you have to write the passion, and then you have to write another point, and this will look systematic. And if you write it separately, then how modes of passion, and like this you can write. Then after that, third point you can write is practical ways how you can develop the goodness. Like this, 3 points you have to write. And like heading you have to write clearly. In short, I have written the heading. And but you have to write fully in your answer sheet. Clear? This much is clear. Like this, you can divide. And now, second point. This is with reference to verses, and then with reference to purport also, you have to define. This is with reference to verses, and second point with reference to purport. With reference to purport also, you have to write the 3 points. First point is how you can personally influenced by the modes of passion. Then how you are influenced by the mode of ignorance. And how you can develop the mode of goodness. So like these headings should be there. And so it will be easy to for correction. And a second point heading and with complete heading is required. And then these 3 headings should be there. Then after first, and then also there should be 3 headings. And after first point also, there should be 3 headings. Clear?
Can we make it other way around? Because like verses and purports.
For one, yes. That also you can do. And
Yeah,
what Prabhuji has told is like for 1 point, and this also modes of how we are influenced by the mode of passion. This one heading we can give, and in that in verses and purport, and like this also you can divide. And so and like if you divide the question, then it will be easy to give the headings and for writing the answer. So this much is clear for everybody. Headings are clear. Okay. Now what we have to write in the heading, and that question remains. And then, so what I have mentioned is, like first heading is with reference to, we are writing with reference to verses. And so in that, so you have to select some Sanskrit words from the verses of the 14th chapter. So I have selected one word, and like first point we have to write in that is how we are influenced by the mode of passion. And so I have selected the word ragatmakam, and so where it is mentioned. So somebody has thought on this. Somebody has given any thought on this, and okay, then I will just mention one point in this. So now first point is there, and how we are influenced by the mode of passion. And so for this I have selected one Sanskrit word from the verse number 7 of the 14th chapter. And so what is the verse 14.7? Somebody can open from the book. What is the verse 14.7?
Verse is Sanskrit is Rajo
Also.
Kam Vidhi Trishna Samudbhavam Tan Nipadnati Kaunteya Karma Sangena Dehinam. Mode of
Yes.
passion is born of.
So in this verse, there is one word, ragatmakam. Correct, na, Pro?
Yes, true.
So this word is there, ragatmakam. So that I have taken. Because I have to take reference from the verses. So I have taken raga. What is the meaning of word ragatmakam, Pro? You can read.
Born of desire or lust.
So born of desires or lust. And I have so many desires, and then if somebody has so many desires, and then that person is in the mode of
Passion.
passion, and if somebody has so many desires, and then that person is influenced by the mode of passion, and that we have learned from that word ragatmakam. And then what I did, then I have selected this word from the verse, and that I will give heading, and in the how I am explaining how I am influenced by the mode of passion. Then what I will write that mm, I have uh, so many desires, and like name and fame, and that I want to be a uh, just a good devotee, and so whatever service I am doing, and so I have desire, and that service I will do for name and fame, and I want to be famous by doing that service. And so like this I have so many desires, and I want to be uh, best chanter, and so that devotees can respect me, and so I have desire for respect also, and name and fame also, and, and I have desire that I should be a perfect person. So like this I have so many desires, and like this I can write, and so this shows that I am influenced by the mode of passion. And like this one word we can pick up from the verses, and then we can write in that. This is regarding the mode of passion. Then just like this one example I will give, and so like this you have to write 2 points, and a 1 point I am telling for each mode of passion you have to write 2 words, and for passing, and one word I have told, and so another you have to find out and write 2 points. Then for mode of after mode of passion, what is the mode of ignorance? Mode of ignorance, I have selected the verse. Uh, 14.8. And so, what is the verse, Prabhuji? You can read 14.8.
Yes, तमस्त्व अज्ञानजं विद्धि मोहनं सर्वदेहिनां प्रमादालस्य तन्निबध्नति भारत.
So, from this verse, I have selected the word nidrabhi. And so, what is the meaning of the word nidrabhi, Prabhuji?
Sleep. And
Sleep. So, so then I can write in this that I eat too much, and then after that I require more sleep. And like in purport, Prabhupada, right now purport is not required. We are now referring to word from the verse, and so nidrabhi is sleeping too much. That is the meaning. Then that person is influenced by the mode of ignorance, and then I can write that I have eaten so much, and so after eating so much, then I am sleeping also so much. And so then in this case, what will happen? That I am influenced by the mode of ignorance. Like this, you have to take the word from any verse of the 14th chapter, and which is relevant and of the mode of ignorance, and you have to write there in 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, that how you are influenced by the that quality of the mode of ignorance. Then third point, and how I can develop the goodness with reference to verses. For this, I have taken the 6th verse. So, what is the 6th verse? Is
तत्र तत्त्वं निर्मलत्वात् प्रकाशकम् अनामयं सुखसङ्गेन बध्नाति ज्ञानसङ्गेन चानघ.
Thank you, Pro. So now in this I have selected the word nirmalatvat, and the meaning of nirmalatvat means being purest in the material world. Right. So this mode of quality of mode of goodness is that person is nirmala, means he pure, and means he is clean, and so another meaning is pure or clean. Then how I can write in the answer is, then I will write that I will maintain cleanliness and in my room, and so that I can develop the mode of goodness. I will keep my books and clothes and in the proper place, and I will keep my desk table clean, and then I will keep my relationships also very clean. So like this, and wherever I have taken prasadam, wherever I have slept, and I will mop that area, and so that I can keep that area clean and pure. And so like this, I can write on the word nirmalatvat if I have selected that word. Clear? So I have completed the first point, and regarding verses, I have taken one word from the verses, and I have explained all the 3 points and which are asked. Now I will take one word from the purport, and I will explain these 3 points. So same verses I have selected. So now for the mode of passion, how I am influenced by the mode of passion. So in the 7th verse of 14th chapter, and so I will share the screen here so that I will get the verse 7th. Visible? Vedabis is visible?
Yes, Prabhu, now visible.
Okay. So in 7th verse, there is in purport, there is one line. He wants to enjoy sense gratification, and person in the mode of passion. This is the line in the 7th verse. So all of you might be seeing. So this line I have selected. So then how I will show that I am influenced by the mode of passion. And so I will write that I eat so much, and when there is a sweet in the temple, so I eat so much sweet. And for what purpose I eat so much sweet? To enjoy and to gratify my senses. And uh, like this I can write. And so whenever devotees go to holy places, and I ask them to carry so much sweet for me and for enjoying, to gratifying my senses. So what shows that this shows that I am influenced by the mode of passion. Like this, we can write. Then for the mode of ignorance,
Prabhuji,
I have selected the
Prabhuji, I do have a
yes.
question that, like in verses, we write the exact word from the verse and then explain it. Purport, do we have
Yes.
to mention which line from the purport are we referring to and then explain?
No, not required. In this verse, it is sorry, in this question, it is not required. Why it is not required? Because they have just mentioned the in the question it is mentioned with reference. In bracket, if you write purport of this verse, that is compulsory. Understood, no? You have not mentioned, here I will show. Like this, I am mentioning the sentence. And you need not mention the sentence, but what you have to write is, so if you write that if you are proving that you are influenced by the mode of passion, and then what you will write, that you have eaten so much sweet prasadam, and so I have eaten so much sweet prasadam. Like this you will write how you are influenced by the mode of passion. Then here in bracket you have to write from the purport, and in bracket like this you have to write purport of like now your chapter is fixed, and 14 point something yours number, and like this there are marks for this also. And if you are not writing this, then you are not writing according to the question, because in question what is asked with reference, and so you have to give the reference. And if you are not giving, that is optional, huh? If you are giving the complete line, and then you give the complete line or not, that is optional. And if you give complete line also, then also you have to write like this purport and in bracket the verse number. And so this is compulsory. If you have not given that line as it is, then also you have to write. And if you have given the line as it is, then also you have to write. And so line, giving the line as it is optional, but giving the reference is compulsory. Clear na, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji, clear.
So for others, is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. ठीक. Then sharing disconnected. Okay. 1 minute, I will share it again. Okay. Then that I have completed. According to purport, I have completed or not?
Yes, passion.
First point I have completed. Okay. Passion. Then from Veda Vishna, that is. Passion we have completed. Then ignorance, I have selected the say line that from the 8th verse. So here there is one line that the persons who in the mode of ignorance, that their they are very lazy. And this line I have selected. Clear? Like this, then laziness, what I will write is that whatever services are assigned to me, and so I do not complete that services, and I postpone many of the services for tomorrow and for next week. So like this, I'm influenced by the mode of ignorance. Like this, you can write. Then for now, third point is cultivation of the mode of goodness. That I have selected from the 6th verse. So in the purport, Prabhupada has written, actually in the Vedic literatures, line that actually in the Vedic literature, it is said that mode of goodness means greater knowledge and a greater sense of happiness. So these are qualities of the mode of goodness, and Prabhupada mentioned in the purport. Then what I will write is that I will greater knowledge, and I will read the books, and like this I can develop the qualities of goodness, and I will try to cultivate knowledge by reading the books, and by reading books. And clear? Like this I will write in that how I will develop the mode of goodness. And so one point I have mentioned, and for each heading. And like this, you have to add one more point in this, and you have to give the references, and that part all of you have understood. And so these things will come in the body part. And then what will be there after that? Conclusion. And in conclusion, you can conclude that I have explained these points, above points, for how I am influenced by the mode of goodness, mode of passion and ignorance, and how I will cultivate the mode of goodness based on the verses and purports of the 14th chapter. And like this, 1-2 sentence you can conclude whatever you have written in the body. And clear? So now here we have completed our first question. And so is it clear to everybody? And all of you have understood this point? Anybody is there who has not understood? Somebody has any difficulty? Clear. First question is clear. Okay. Then now second question. Somebody can read second question.
Second question is select statements from Prabhupada's purports to the chapter 14 and 16 of Bhagavad Gita that reflect aspects of his mission and discuss in your own words the significance of these aspects for ISKCON's future mood and mission.
Thank you, bro. So now same thing we have to follow here also. So what is the same thing? So structure we have, there will be same introduction, body, and conclusion. So introduction, conclusion, all of you can understand. So just we'll discuss the body for this second question. So what is the technique I have told for writing the body? First point, what I told, how it will be easy. We can divide the question and then writing the body, and according to heading, it will be very easy. And so how we can divide this question? Question number 2.
Chapter 14 and chapter 16. First major point we can reflect on purports from chapter 14, and then second from chapter 16.
Then first, now here in this question, they have told us what? Select statements. And so clear instruction is there. And so in previous question, Prabhuji asked that is writing statements is compulsory. In that question, it was not compulsory. And but in this question, it is compulsory. Why? Because they have used the word select statement. And so we have to show that which statement we have selected, and that we have to show. And so here now you have to write the statement from the purports. So first heading in the body will be number 1 is that selected statements and from purport, and statement from purport of which chapter? 14th chapter. And I'm writing in short. You have to write in full. Clear? This will be first heading, big heading. And then after that, big heading will be, second big heading will be selected statements and from the 16th chapter, purport of 16th chapter. Then now under first heading, what will come? Statements will come. And so here at least we have to write 3 statements, and A, B, C. One statement I will tell, other 2 you have to write. At least 3 under this statements, and 3 under second point, and A, B, C. So one statement I will tell. And so first statement I have selected from the 14th chapter. And so I have selected, I will show here from the Vedabase. From the second verse I have selected. Statement is this: generally in the material world, whatever knowledge we get is contaminated by the 3 modes of material nature. Knowledge which is not contaminated by the 3 modes of nature is called transcendental knowledge. This much I have selected. So I have to write this statement here. So I have to write this statement here in the point A. And then under this A point, then again points will come. And so what I have to write here in the question, if you see, so I have written the statement. Below the statement, you have to show how this statement reflect the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And that is the first point I have to write. I have to show how this statement is reflecting the aspects of his mission, and one of the aspect of his mission, and that I have to prove. And second point I have to write is that in my own word and in your own word. Second point I have to mention is that significance of this statement in future of ISKCON. So these 2 points I have to write there. First is how it reflects the aspect of mission. Aspect of mission. So these 2 points you have to add. Clear? So now statement I have selected that I will show. And this statement I have selected, and all of you can see here. Is it visible, Pro? Statement? Statement is visible? Veda-based statement?
Yes, bro.
So then, as I have told, first point I have to write is, I have to prove that it reflects the one aspect of Srila Prabhupada mission. So what I can say about this? And I can say that Srila Prabhupada wants to distribute this transcendental knowledge. And so, and he want to, he has very great desire to write the books based on this transcendental knowledge. And his whole world, like in this statement, Prabhupada is mentioning, the whole world is full of knowledge, material knowledge, and not transcendental knowledge. Then Srila Prabhupada endeavor very hard also for writing these books of transcendental knowledge. And he also has mentioned that books are the basis. So like this, I can write and for proving that this statement reflects the one of the aspect of Srila Prabhupada's mission. Correct? So then another point I have to write is how it will affect the future of ISKCON. And like this, I will give the subheading and how this statement is affecting the future of ISKCON. Then I can write under that heading that, so if the devotees in the ISKCON and they are reading the transcendental knowledge, and then what will happen? They can practice their devotional service according to the scriptures, and they will understand what exactly is the devotional service. They can understand what Krishna wants and from the scriptures, from the transcendental knowledge. And from the transcendental knowledge, they will understand and how to live in this world and how to practice devotional service. So all these things and they will understand by getting the transcendental knowledge from the books. And what will happen? By reading this transcendental knowledge, they will naturally follow the laws of religion. They will follow the dharma. And by following dharma, what will happen? If somebody follows the dharma, then he will get artha. So naturally, all their necessities will be fulfilled. And dharma, artha, kama, moksha. If they are rooted in the transcendental knowledge. And so it will benefit the future of ISKCON. Like this, I can explain. Clear? So I have explained one point from the 14th chapter, complete point. A statement I have taken, and then I have selected that statement, and I have proved how it is reflecting the aspect of mission and one aspect of Srila Prabhupada's mission and how it is helping and in the future of ISKCON. Clear? Anybody has any doubt in this? So similarly, I have taken another statement from the 16th chapter. So what I will do, I will take first the statement and from the 16th chapter. This statement I have selected. 16.12 and 3, there is combined purport. The social institution known as Varnashram Dharma, the institution dividing society into 4 divisions of spiritual life and 4 occupational divisions or cases. Is it not meant to divide human society according to birth? Such divisions are in terms of educational qualifications. This statement I have taken, I have selected. Then I will write this statement because they have asked us in the question, select the statement. And so we have to show that we have selected this statement. And so that's why it is needed and to write this statement. Clear? And after writing statement, then what is expected from me? Somebody can repeat same point which we have discussed just now. So what is expected after that from me in that question?
How this statement reflects.
What it should reflect? What it should reflect? One of the aspect of
mission.
And then how what I can say, which aspect of mission it is reflecting then? I can say like this, that this Varnashrama is not based on the birth. Like this, I can say that Shri in ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada and never asked the about the birth of a devotee. And so whatever 12 years Prabhupada was there, and when in the ISKCON after his establishing ISKCON, and in 12 years Prabhupada has not given the responsibility to the devotees based on their, he has not given the services to devotees based on their birth. But how Prabhupada has given the services? Based on their skills and based on their educational qualifications and according to their capacities. So what they can do according to their guna and karma, and not according to their birth. And so that's why this statement is reflecting Prabhupada's mission. Clear? I can mention like this. Then how it is affecting second, what is the second point is expected from me in this question?
How it affects future of ISKCON.
How it is affecting the future of ISKCON. And then what I will write, if person is giving responsibilities and in according to his liking and where he is good at, in that area only, if he is giving the responsibility and which area he likes, and he can serve according to his capacities and according to his liking. In that area only, if person is giving if person is given services, then he will be happy and he will not leave ISKCON and a whole life. And if he has received the service according to his liking and his ability, then naturally he will continue the service till the end of his life. And then one of the benefit in future is like that. Now people and in other institution, and you will not get the engagement for the senses, and because in other philosophies, in other institution, what is their philosophy? And their philosophy is that detach yourself and from other things. And but in our philosophy, what is there? What we say, that engage your senses in Krishna's service. So that is our philosophy. And so if we are saying that engage your senses in Krishna's service, then there should be engagement for the senses. And how we will decide which engagement should be given to whom? And we will decide according to that person's skills, abilities, and according to the qualification of a person. And then what will happen? There will be very prosperous future and for the ISKCON, because more people, they will join ISKCON, because in ISKCON you do not have to restrict your senses, but you will get engagement for your senses. And if we follow the Varnashram Dharma principle, and engaging senses is easy and in compared to restricting the senses, and compared to giving detaching them and from the sense object, that is more difficult for the sadhakas and for the new devotees. Like this, this will be very good for the future of ISKCON if we give services according to the qualification of a devotee. And it has very bright future if we follow this principle. So clear? Like this point also have explained fully. And so you have to add 2 point and 2 statements from the 16th chapter and 2 statements from the 14th chapter. Introduction and conclusion you can write, and that is easy. So I have explained one point and from both the questions, and we have completed both the questions. So anybody has any question they have not understood what we have discussed? Somebody is there like that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, minimum statement 3 or you can elaborate?
Yes, Prabhuji. Like from 14 chapter, there should be 3 statement. One statement I have already told.
Yes.
So other 2 you can add, like 14 chapter, others 2 statement. You can select similarly how I have selected, and like this you can select, and you have to select the statement and these 2 points you have to write, and how
Yes.
it is reflecting one aspect of ISKCON, and how it is affecting the future of ISKCON.
Maximum 3, no? That is the limit.
No, minimum 3.
Minimum.
Minimum 3 for passing.
Okay.
Maximum more also you can write, but there is another condition is there. There is word limit of 800, and that all of you might be knowing, and I have not told. Just now I have told that you can write, and in if you are able to write in 800 words, and strictly means it is allowed 850, and till 850 you can go, and but do not go for 900 like this. Little bit plus minus is okay.
Hare Krishna.
Clear for others? For one question there is 800 words, and
So I think word
clear?
limit is 800 to 900.
Yes, bro. That you can say 800 to 900 approximately. Here for everybody. Okay. We'll stop here. We'll take 10 minutes break. And then we'll continue our 18th chapter. We'll meet at 6:44.
Yashraj Prabhu is asking what is last date of submission.
That all of you and Rukmini Vallabhpur can decide. I don't have any problem.
I'll post in the group. I'll check.
You take responsibility and check with Rukmini Vallabhpur. So whatever is going on according to your rules of your batch. And
Yes.
yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So yesterday we have discussed from 28th verse to 29th verse to 42nd verse. Correct?
Yes.
So that much only I will revise. So what is mentioned in the 29th verse? Somebody can tell.
3 types of intelligence and determination.
Yeah, Krishna told he will explain now. And
it is needed
then
doing action and karma. Intelligence and determination is.
Yes, thank you. Like Krishna, why he is mentioning also? Prabhuji told, and because it is required to perform any action and something we want to do, and is how that thing we to do, and for that intelligence is required, and anything we want to do, and we started doing that action, and then it will not be easy to perform that action. And so for that, what will be required? There will be so many difficulties, and anything in this material world if we want to do, and so many difficulties will be there. So for that, determination is also required, like this Krishna has mentioned. And then he explained the intelligence and determination in the 3 mode, and till verse number he mentioned 20, 30, then 35, and he completes the uh, intelligence and determination in 3 modes. And then 36 verse, and what he's telling, that he will now discuss the happiness in the 3 modes. Why? Because any action we do, and for what purpose we do that action? For to get the happiness from that action. And so what kind of happiness we want from any action, and decides our standard of living. And so which type of life we are living, and what is the quality of our happiness, and that decides the our standard, and which kind of life we are aspiring for, and or which kind of life we are currently living, and that we can see what kind of happiness we want in our life. And this happiness in 3 modes Krishna discuss till the 39th verse. Correct? Then 40th verse, what Krishna has told. And in the 40th verse, Krishna has told that, is telling there is no being existing either. So everybody comes under these 3 modes, and who is living in this planetary system, in this material world, he will come under the clutches of these 3 modes of material nature. And here he concludes the discussion of the 3 modes in the till verse 40. Clear? Then I have mentioned which topic is beginning from verse 41. Yesterday I have mentioned.
Summary for this, so karma, varnashram.
Yes, summary of entire Bhagavad Gita. So first Krishna will discuss the summary of Karma Yoga section. How we can perform Karma Yoga? By following Varnashram Dharma. We can follow Karma Yoga. Then after that, he will explain how this Karma Yoga leads to Jnana Yoga and how this Jnana Yoga will lead to Bhakti Yoga. And he explained then remaining verses about Bhakti Yoga. So this will start from 41st verse till the end of chapter, which is verse number 78. And so this topic Krishna will discuss here. Clear? This is the revision. Two verses are remaining. 41 also we have covered. So 41 verse we have seen that there are different categories, and now Varnashram is beginning, and a following of Karma Yoga. So in Varnashram there are 4 categories according to the action, based on which action the person will do, and for that. And how these 4 categories are made according to the 3 modes, and we saw that Brahmana is goodness, and Kshatriya is goodness and passion, and Vaishya is passion and ignorance, and Shudra is ignorance. So like this, because of these 3 modes, combination of these 3 modes, 4 categories are there. Clear? Then qualities of Brahmana also we have discussed yesterday. Clear? Then from the verse 43, and today we'll start our discussion. So what is the verse? Shauryam tejo dhritir daksham yuddhe chapi apalayanam danam ishvara bhavascha kshatram karma svabhavajam. What is the translation? Heroism matlab means shaurya, and tejah means power, determination means dhrati, and that we have seen, resourcefulness, daksham, they are expert, resourceful, courage in battle. So yuddhecha apalayanam means they will not run away, apalayan, and they will not flee, because fear of opponents, they will not flee due to fear of opponents. They are generous, and generous means they are charitable, and they are danvir and danam, and they have the quality of leadership, ishvara bhava. And generally in devotional service, ishvara bhava is condemned, and that it is mentioned that our natural position is that we are the servant, and so we should be always in a mood of servant, and but to run the society, and to somebody has to have the ishvara bhava and leadership mentality, so otherwise society will not function properly, and somebody has to have that ishvara bhava in family also, in home also, and so somebody has to have ishvara bhava, and so either husband or either wife, and so one of them should have ishvara bhava, otherwise nobody will take the responsibility of the house. And leadership are the natural qualities of work for the kshatriyas, and so the person who has these quality naturally, and that person is a kshatriya. So what are these qualities? heroism, power. So heroism, all of you can understand that he is very expert in the fighting. Is very expert and hero of the he shaurya, and that he has many chivalrous. And chivalrous is also one of the word and for the fighting. So that is heroism. Then power, and he should have power, determination. So quite word only you can understand. Courage in battle, and he should not run away, and he should fight, and without worrying for his death, and that is the meaning of courage in battle. And so he is not afraid of death, and that he will be killed by the hands of enemies. Generous. So whenever some need is there for money for some people, then he will give loan, otherwise he will give charity to his citizens, and that he can do. And he should have the ownership mentality, that Ishvara Bhav and a leadership he should have. He should take the responsibility of his citizens and those who are dependents on him. So in earlier times, king used to take the responsibility of animals also, and that we know that many stories are there. King Shivi's story is there, and he has taken the responsibility of animal also, and they are the ideal kshatriyas. Clear? His qualities. All of you have understood, and the qualities mentioned by the kshatriyas, and they are quite clear. Before also, we have discussed. Just I will check something is mentioned by the acharyas extra. So Bhurijan Prabhu has mentioned one point extra, that here it is mentioned that leadership, and leadership means Ishvara Bhava. I mentioned that Ishvara Bhava, leadership means he should control the people, and he should take the responsibility of people. And so Prabhuji is mentioning here that he should take the responsibility of people, so that he should not manipulate people. And sometimes leaders, they manipulate and they use the people under them, and that is not this quality. And they are controller of the people, means they should control them for protecting the citizens under them. And they should use this Ishvara Bhava in order to protect their citizens and not to manipulate their citizens. Positive sense should be taken in this quality. And like this Prabhuji has added. And Acharyas, just they have given the meaning of these qualities that you know. So these are the qualities of the Kshatriyas. Then Krishna mentions the qualities of Vaishyas and Kshudras in next verse. Krishi Goraksha Vanijam Vaishya Karma Svabhavajam Paricharyatmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Svabhavajam. So what Krishna is mentioning here is that farming, cow protection, and business are the natural work for the Vaishyas. Then for Kshudras, there is a labor and service to others. These are the natural qualities for the Kshudras. And these three are the natural qualities for the Vaishyas. Clear? So this is the translation. Now we'll understand this, that what is farming, and that all of you know farming. Then cow protection. And so for the Sanskrit, what is there? Goraksha, protecting the cows, cow protection. Then business and Vanijam. And Vanijam means a business. So these three are the qualities of the Vaishyas. And so these are the meaning. And then Shudras, what is mentioned is that Paricharya. And Paricharya means they serve the other, and they perform service to other. And that is one thing, Paricharya. And then another thing is Karma. And the Karma means labor. And so they work as a labor, or they do service to others. They help others. And others means whom? Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya. They help other three categories. This is the meaning of Shudra's qualities. Clear? So these are the qualities of Vaishyas and Shudras. So now in general, some points about Varnashram I will explain. So Varnashram, it gives the material cooperation. And so in society, and for function of society, there are many things required. And so Brahmana, he do his part of intellectual, and Kshatriyas, they do their part and of protecting other citizens, and Vaishyas, they do their part in society, and Kshudras, they do their part. Not that everybody has to do everything. And so in this, by following this Varnashrama, what will happen? That society functions very smoothly. So that is one of the benefit of following Varnashram. And why Krishna is mentioning here that it will be easy to perform Karma Yoga through these principles of Varnashrama Dharma. And so that is Krishna's purpose and why he is mentioning here. And so purification will be easy, and if we follow this Varnashrama. Clear? So that's why Krishna has mentioned here. Then Varnashrama is a material thing, and it is completely a material principle. But how this Varnashrama can be spiritualized? That Krishna will explain the next. So he continues his explanation about the Varnashrama. So he's telling, Sve sve karmanni abhiratah samsiddhim labhate narah swakarma niratah siddhim yatha vindati tachrunu. In the next verse, Krishna is telling. The meaning of next verse is, by following these qualities of work and of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, if we follow this, every man can become perfect. So each and every person will become perfect if he follows these varnashrama. Now please hear from me how this can be done and how to follow. And if somebody follows, then he will, perfection is guaranteed by Krishna. And then how to follow, Krishna will explain in the next verses, and 46 onwards. And so now here we understand that this is the Vedic varnashram. And so how in Vedic varnashram, varnashram is his varna is decided on the birth, and it is based on the birth. That generally in Vedic varnashram, that all of them are very pure souls, and varna sankara is not there. And so that's why the generally person will get birth in the family where his varna is matching, and that will be automatically done in the Vedic varnashram. So at that time, Brahmana child will be a Brahmana, Kshatriya child will be a Kshatriya, and Vaishya child will be a Kshatriya. Sometimes what will happen, that sometimes there should be a there is a person with different varna also, but that are very rare cases. And like there is a story of Satyakam Jabal, and that he was born to a maid servant, but his varna is his guru tells, and because he is speaking truth, his qualities, and guru decides his varna by his qualities, that he is very truthful, although his mother is a maid servant. And so this is the Vedic varnashram model, and where varna is decided on the basis of birth. So this is the Vedic varnashram model. Then another varnashram model is Asuri varnashram model. So what happened in this Asuri varnashram model is that caste system is prevailed, and like in India, and it happened that these Brahmanas, they have exploited the Shudras, and because of the selfishness, and then nobody is following the varnashram dharma, Asuri varnashram dharma. Then what happened? This Buddhism, Jainism, and they spread out, and instead of this varnashram dharma. So this is the Asuri varnashram dharma, that these varnashram dharma principles are followed, but for exploiting others, and that happens in the Asuri varnashram dharma. Then what we follow in ISKCON is the Daivi varnashram model, and Daivi varnashram model is that what is the basis of this is that everyone is meant for service in Krishna. Everybody is a servant of Krishna. And how one can serve Krishna? According to his nature, according to his capacity. One will serve Krishna. And today also we saw that statement from 16th chapter. And by doing this, anybody will be liberated. And anybody will be perfect his life by serving Krishna. And that can happen. And that is a Daivi varnashram model. And that Krishna has talked in his 45th verse. So anybody can perfect his life. And every man can perfect his life. And so why I told this model? To prove this point, that every man can perfect his life by following the Daivi varnashram dharma, which Krishna has spoken, and which is based on his qualities and not on the birth. Birth also there is varnashram, but that is Vedic varnashram. Clear? So then, and now Krishna himself has told that he will explain how we can perform the Varnashram. And so Krishna is telling here from the 46th verse. He is telling, Yataha pravrutti bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manavah. The meaning of this verse is, by worship of the Lord, who is the source of all living beings. Yatah pravrutti bhutana. All living beings are emanating from him, who is all pervading. Sorry. All living beings are coming from him, and the Lord is a all pervading. A man can attain perfection through performing his own work. So how we can perform the Varnashram Dharma? Krishna is telling here that a person can attain perfection by performing his own work, and that is important, and own work and not others' work. And so we have to identify. And so Krishna has mentioned what he has mentioned before. He has mentioned the natural qualities. And natural qualities means the qualities which are near to our svabhav and near to our nature. And we can find out Brahmana's qualities are near to our nature, or Kshatriya's qualities are near to our nature, or Vaishya's qualities, or Kshudra's qualities. And which qualities are near to our nature and which are natural for us. And that is our own work. And if that qualities which are not natural for us, then that is not our work. That is somebody else's work. And in this way, we can find out what is our own work. And we should do that our own work only. And so many times, all of you have heard work is a worship. And but what Lord is telling, work is not the worship. And if work is performed for the Lord, and then it will become the worship. And if we are working for the Lord, then it is a worship. But work itself is not a worship. If we are working for ourselves, then that is not a worship. And so Krishna, what he is telling, worship the Lord. And Krishna is using a third person, and because this is a karma yoga. And Krishna is not telling here that I am the Lord. And that point Krishna is not telling here. Why? Because this karma yogi doesn't know who is the Lord, and he doesn't know that Krishna is the Lord. And so that's why Krishna is not telling that he is the Lord. Clear? So that's why Krishna is using here third person. And so Krishna is telling Lord is somebody else in third person. And so therefore Krishna is telling worship the Lord by your own work. And a man, if you want perfection. Clear? The purport is there. Somebody can read the purport.
As stated in the 15th chapter, all living beings are fragmental parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the Supreme Lord is the beginning of all living entities. This is confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmade Asya Yatha, SB 1.1. The Supreme Lord is therefore the beginning of life of every living entity, and as stated in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord, by his two energy, his external energy and internal energy, is all pervading. Therefore, one should worship the Supreme Lord with his energy. Generally, the Vaishnavas devotee worship the Supreme Lord with his internal energy. His external energy is pervaded reflection of the internal energy. The external energy is background, but the Supreme Lord, by the expansion of his plenary portion as Paramatma, is situated everywhere. He is the super soul of all demigods, all human beings, all animals, everywhere. One should therefore know that as a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, one has his duty to render service unto the Supreme. Everyone should be engaged in devotional service to the Lord in full Krishna consciousness. That is recommended in this verse.
Thank you. So, what Prabhupada has told regarding in this verse, that Prabhupada first telling the point that how Supreme Lord uh, is the beginning of all living entity, how is the source of all living entity. And so for this, Prabhupada has given the three references. And so what are they? The 15th chapter, Prabhupada, we have studied the 15th chapter. So he's telling that uh, all uh, all living beings are fragmental parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And so what is the verse? Verse is Mame Vansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manashasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. And 15.7. What is why he is quoting? Because in this verse, Krishna is telling Mame Ansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So the living entities are my fragmental ansha part. They are my part and parcel. And so that's why. So they are living entities are Krishna's part and parcel, means living entities are emanating from the Lord. And the Lord is the source of all living entities. And that's why he has told. Another reference Prabhupada is giving from Vedanta Sutra, Janmadi Yasya Yataha. So that is the verse from that he is the source of all living being. And he was there from the beginning of all living entities, from every living entity. He was there in the beginning. So he was there in the beginning means he is the source, and source is there in the beginning. Then third reference Prabhupada has given from the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And in the 7th chapter, it is mentioned there is a para and apara prakriti in 7.4 and 7.5. And 7.4 mentions the apara prakriti. And 7.4 is apara prakriti. And 7.5 is para prakriti, means living entities. So this is the point. That's why he is the source of para. So para and apara means living entities also, and his material nature also. So everything is emanating from him. He is the source of everything. For this, Prabhupada has given three references. That point Prabhupada proved here. Then Prabhupada is explaining what happens if somebody knows the Lord is the source. And then what happens? That if we are working in some company, why we work in some company? To earn our living. And in company, what we do? We serve the owner of the company, because this company belongs to him. And like this, now we understood that whole this material world is coming from Krishna. And then what we after understanding this, naturally one will serve the Krishna. And so that will happen. One will worship him, Prabhupada is telling. If somebody understand that Krishna is the source of everything, then one should worship the Supreme Lord with his energy. Then somebody will worship the Krishna with his energy, and that will happen. And devotees, how they worship Krishna? Devotees, they worship Krishna with his energy. Which energy? Internal energy. And who is that representative of internal energy? Radharani. So devotees, they do not worship Krishna alone. They worship Krishna with Radharani. So both of them, they worship Krishna with internal energy. So this is the reason Prabhupada is telling that devotees, they worship the Krishna like this. Then what about external energy? The question may come. And devotees, they are worshipping internal energy. Okay, they are worshipping Krishna. And what about external energy? External energy is in the background. And external energy is the, before that Prabhupada tells, the perverted reflection also. And it is in the background. And in this external energy, Lord is situated in the form of Paramatma. So this whole material world is supervised by whom? Paramatma. And Lord in the form of, Lord is supervising, but how? In the form of Paramatma. So whole management of the material world is done by Paramatma. Therefore, what Prabhupada is telling, that perform your duty to render service unto the Supreme. Therefore, everyone should be engaged in devotional service to the Lord in full Krishna consciousness. And why? Because Lord is the source of everything. Clear? Next part, somebody can read.
Everyone should think that he is engaged in a particular type of occupation by Rishikesha, the master of the senses. And by the result of the work in which one is engaged, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, should be worshipped. If one thinks always in this way, in full Krishna consciousness, then by the grace of the Lord, he becomes fully aware of everything. That is the perfection of life. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 12.7, Teshamaham samuddharta. The Lord, Supreme Lord Himself takes charge of delivering such a devotee. That is the highest perfection of life. In whatever occupation one may be engaged, if he serves the Supreme Lord, he will achieve the highest perfection.
Thank you, Pro. So now Prabhupada is explaining how we should be engaged and how we should be engaged in Krishna's service. And for that, Prabhupada is telling that everyone should think that he is engaged in a particular type of occupation by Rishikesh, the master of senses. And so some type of occupation, out of which Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And so out of these four, some occupation we should be engaged, and we should not be empty. And some engagement should be there for us, for our senses. For what purpose? To please the Rishikesh, the master of the senses. We should use our senses to please the master of the senses, and in one of the four ways. And by the result of the work in which one is engaged, so some result will come when we are engaged in some work. And then that result where we should be given, it should be given to Krishna. And if we give that result to Krishna, what will happen? Our worship will be happen, and we'll worship the Krishna by our senses. And then if we are worshipping Krishna by acting for Krishna in one of the four ways, if one thinks always in this way, in full Krishna consciousness, and parallelly he is thinking about Krishna, and he is engaged and he is thinking about Krishna in full Krishna consciousness, then Lord will give his grace. Then by the grace of the Lord, and he will become fully aware of everything. And so he will become perfect, and that is the perfection of life. And so engaged and for service of the Krishna in one of the four ways according to our nature, and which is natural for us. And if we engage according to that, then that is the perfection of life on the karma yoga level. And because he is doing karma in connection to Krishna, karma yoga. How he is doing? According to his nature in the varnashram dharma, which is natural for him. If somebody does this kind of karma yoga, then how Lord will reciprocate, because he is doing for whom? For the Lord. And how Lord will reciprocate, that is mentioned in the 12th chapter. Prabhupada is telling, the Lord is telling that tesha aham samudharta. And so meaning of this is that Lord is telling that he will take charge of delivering such a devotee. And if somebody does work for the Lord according to his nature, then what Lord is telling? I will deliver that person. Aham, and me, myself, and I will not delegate that work to somebody else. And but what I will do? Me, myself will deliver such a person, and who is working for the Lord. That is the highest perfection of life. In whatever occupation one may be engaged, if he serves the Supreme Lord, he will achieve the highest perfection. And so even Shudra can be perfect his life. And Brahmanas also can perfect. And Kshatriya, Vaishya. So any service, any engagement, any occupation you do according to your nature. But if you are doing for Krishna, then you can make your life perfect. Clear? So this is told by Krishna. How we can perform the Varnashram Dharma. In that one verse, Krishna has told. Now another verse Krishna is telling, and how we can perform the Varnashram Dharma. So the next verse is Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunah Paradharmat Swanushtitah Swabhava Niyatam Karma Kurvan Napnoti Kilvisham. What Krishna is telling? It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. And so, we have selected our own work and according to our nature, and then performing that our own work and is required. And when we are performing our own work, then one may think that my work is not so good and I am a kshatriya, and then I have to kill the other people. And but how, see, this Brahmana's work is so nice, and just he teach other people, and he has his book in his hand, and from book he teaches to other, and how peaceful his work is. So I will do the Brahmana's work, and so that is not allowed. And although we can teach very nicely, and but because that is not our nature, and so although we are killing people, and so that is also we can kill for the Krishna's pleasure, and we can serve the Krishna. And so that's why Krishna is telling that do your work and your own work only, even though you make mistake and imperfectly, and even though you are not doing perfectly your own work, and you are not performing well in your work, but still you stick to your own work. Do not give up your own work according to our nature. So what will happen? If that is not done, then you will be affected. And if you are doing others' nature, then you will be affected by the sins and of that work. But if you are working according to your own nature, then you will not be affected by the sins, like this Krishna is telling. So execute your responsibilities responsibly. Execute your engagements responsibly. So everybody has to do here his own work. Like in hospital, and we see that how doctors give medicine, how doctors give medicine in hospital. He gives medicine according to the disease of a person. And doctor doesn't give same medicine to all the person. So everybody has a different disease. So doctor also gives the different medicine to everybody. So similarly, Krishna has given particular engagement according to the nature of that person. So like this, perform your work according to your own nature. So that is Krishna's point. Okay. Somebody can read the purport.
One's occupational duty is described in Bhagavad Gita. As already discussed in previous verse, the duties of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Shudras are prescribed according to their particular mode of nature. One should not imitate another's duty. A man who is by nature attracted to a kind of work done by a Shudra should not artificially claim to be a Brahmana, although he may have born into a Brahmana family. In this way, one should work according to his nature. No work is abominable if performed in the service of the Supreme Lord. The occupational duty of a Brahmana is certainly in the mode of goodness. But if a person is not by nature in the mode of goodness, he should not imitate the occupational duty of a Brahmana. For a Kshatriya or administrator, there are so many abominable things. A Kshatriya has to be violent to kill his enemies, and sometimes a Kshatriya has to tell lie for the sake of diplomacy. Such violence and duplicity accompany political affairs, but a Kshatriya is not supposed to give up his occupational duty and try to perform the duties of a Brahmana.
Big purport. So here Prabhupada is telling that one's occupational duty, how we will come to know, like we come to know from the Bhagavad Gita. Here Krishna has mentioned the occupational duty for Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya. Already in previous verses, Krishna has mentioned the occupational duties for these four categories. And then what Krishna has told that one should not imitate others' duty. Then Prabhupada is explaining with the example. A man who is by nature attracted to the kind of work done by Shudras should not artificially claim to be a Brahmana. If his work is of Shudra, then he should not do the work of a Brahmana. His nature is of Shudra, then he should do the work of Shudra, although he may have been born in a Brahmana family. So we are not considering the birth, we are considering the guna and karma. So in this way, one should work according to his own nature, according to his own qualities, guna, nature. No work is abominable. And why no work is abominable? Because each and every work, if we do for Krishna, then we can perfect our life. And that's why no work is an abominable work. And although we are Shudra, then also we can perfect our life if performed in the service of the Lord. Prabhupada has mentioned here why it is not abominable. The occupational duty of a Brahmana is certainly in the mode of goodness. If a person not by nature in the mode of goodness, he should not imitate the occupational duty of a Brahman. In the same point, for a Kshatriya or administrator, there are so many abominable things. A Kshatriya has to be violent to kill his enemies, and sometimes a Kshatriya has to tell lies. And it is allowed for them, for Kshatriyas and for Vaishyas, for the sake of diplomacy. Such a violence and duplicity accompany political affairs, but a Kshatriya is not supposed to give up his occupational duty and try to perform the duties of a Brahmana. Although it is not good to tell lie and to kill others, but Kshatriya has to do that. So that is allowed for them. But that nature is like that, and they should not give up this duty of Kshatriya and adopt the duty of a Brahmana. That should not be done. Clear? Next part somebody can read.
One should act to satisfy the Supreme Lord. For example, Arjuna was a Satriya. He was hesitating to fight the other party. But if such fighting is performed for the sake of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there need be no fear of degradation. In the business field also, sometimes a merchant has to tell so many lies to make a profit. If he does not do so, there can be no profit. Sometimes a merchant says, "Oh, my dear customer, for you, I am making no profit." But one should know that without profit, the merchant cannot exist. Therefore, it should be taken as a simple lie if a merchant says that he is not making a profit. But the merchant should not think that because he is engaged in an occupation in which the telling of lies is compulsory, he should give up his profession and pursue the profession of a Brahmana. That is not recommended. Whether one is a Satriya, a Vaisya, or a Sudra, doesn't matter if he serves by his work the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even Brahmanas who perform different types of sacrifice sometimes must kill animals because sometimes animals are sacrificed in such ceremonies. Similarly, if a Satriya engaged in his own occupation kills an enemy, there is no sin incurred. In the third chapter, these matters have been clearly and elaborately explained. Every man should work for the purpose of yajna or for Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anything done for personal sense gratification is a cause of bondage. The conclusion is that everyone should be engaged according to the particular mode of nature he has acquired, and he should decide to work only to serve the supreme cause of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madam. So, Prabhupada has elaborated very long, but in essence, what Prabhupada has explained, that he has explained the varnas, like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And then he has mentioned the abominable part and abominable nature of these varnas. Like for Brahmanas, he has mentioned the Brahmana, what he does, he performs the yajna. And in yajna, what he does, he kills the animal, a Brahmana, for sacrificing that animal for the sake of yajna. And he kills that animal. And so one who is a Brahmana, he may think that, oh, I have to perform yajna because my nature is like a Brahmana, and then I have to kill the Brahmanas. Then I have to kill the animals, because I am a Brahmana. So this is the abominable thing. Then I will give up the work of a Brahmana and I will work somebody else, Shudra, Kshatriya, Vaishya. So this is not recommended. Like Kshatriya may think that he has to kill the enemies and he has to tell lies for diplomacy. Then he will give the work of a Kshatriya and he will perform somebody else's work. That is not allowed. For Vaishya, and so somebody for Vaishya, they hide the profit from the others, and they do sometimes, Prabhupada is telling, black marketing also, Vaishya people. So that is allowed for them, if they are doing for Krishna's pleasure, and that will come. If that is their nature, then they should not give up that, because that is wrong. And they are also they have to speak lies. Then they should not give up that. And Shudras, if their owner, master, is not a good person, and then they may give up that person, and that should not be done. They should not give up their master. So like this, we should not give up our work because there are some abominable things in that. And at that point, Prabhupada told. Then how to purify our work if such abominable things are there? Then Prabhupada is telling, you perform for the sake of the Lord. If you perform for the service of the Lord, then no work is a abominable work. And like example, Prabhupada is given, Arjuna is the killing the people because he is a Kshatriya for the pleasure of Lord. Then he will not have any reaction. He will please the Lord. And at the end, Prabhupada is telling conclusion. The conclusion is that everyone should be engaged according to some work and according to some work in 4 varnas. And he should decide to work only to serve the Supreme Lord. And one should perform any type of work only for the service of the Lord. And anything, he will be Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmana, doesn't matter. If he is serving the Supreme Lord, that is the Daivi Varnashram, he is following the Daivi Varnashram, then there is a no problem. He will perfect his life. Clear?